This is BOBcast.
BuffaloBrotherhood.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Lodge. It's the Buffalo Brotherhood. This is our BOBcast, episode 103, and we are proud to be back. I am Ryan. Alongside me, as always, is
Mike.
And across the table from him is
Doug.
Doug. I almost said R. I don't know why I was going to give you like a plural.
A rug?
R. Across the table from Mike.
R. And then it was going to just be Doug.
The royal we.
Yes. We are so glad to be back, and we know that we've been absent from your ear holes for a few weeks, but scheduling stuff happens, and life happens, and this obviously isn't our full-time job or gig. It's a hobby.
Not yet.
It's a hobby for us, and
we'll open up the Patreon soon.
Yes, yeah, sure. All of Iceland can pay for us, but
well, they're in some trouble right now, so maybe not.
They are, yeah. That's not a good idea.
That's all right. Hey, you know what? Our Icelandic brothers will bounce back.
I hope so.
I love the fact that if you're watching YouTube today, you will see that we have we look like a real sound studio. We can watch the blue lines bounce up and down the whole time while we're playing or while we're recording, and it looks neat.
We're playing. I mean,
we're playing.
The rhythmic bouncing of the blue lines.
Exactly. But it's been a while. It's almost been like a month, really, since we sat down to record.
Has it?
Yeah, well, we shortchanged the last recording.
March 27th was the last recording, so 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, so we're, what? Just two, what? Yes, anyhow. It's been really fun, and I look forward to it. It's crazy. We went almost like 18 months is what I was looking at. Like 18 months without really getting, I don't know, without really getting off schedule. Without getting out of sequence?
I mean, for Christmas,
those are built in. Those are we make plans. We build into that.
Built in. What is this, a school year, right?
Well, I'm just saying.
Those are built in snow days?
I'm just saying, we would tell people ahead of time, don't forget, we'll be gone next week, and then we'll be there. We'll be back
I mean, it was kind of like a snow day there.
It was, but we did a good job.
That's true.
Since it was a random ice storm.
That was terrible. That was terrible.
It was, and you're still dealing with the ramification from that, right?
No, that was late. That's the windstorm. The windstorm took off a good chunk of my shingles there, so I got a couple weeks, and I'm going to have the estimator out and have insurance cover it.
Well, that's why we pay for it.
That's right.
That's why we pay for it.
New roofs. Exactly.
I got my roof last summer, so obviously I didn't get the benefit of, but I would rather not mess with the headache either. So
I've got leakage and everything, and nastiness. It's moist upstairs.
Moist.
Don't say moist.
It's better than being moist downstairs.
That's true.
Bazinga. He does have a basement though, and there's water down there. No kidding. Yeah. So it's moist. So it's moist
wet
downstairs as well.
It's more than moist.
That's true.
It's damp.
Okay.
Damp.
It's dank. It's dank.
Musty.
Stop. Thank you for the adjective podcast.
Don't worry.
But we've not been without our things, right? Though you guys got together. You guys went to. It's not like we've been just sitting around waiting for a chance to record again.
We've been working on things, doing things.
Yeah. You guys got together and went to an art museum. Is what I was told, right?
Art museum?
An art museum, right? And it was really boring. I wasn't interested in going at all. So.
No, not at all.
No, all kidding aside. Mike, you obviously, do you want to
I got tickets.
There you go.
I got tickets for Valentine's Day to go see The Sword. The Sword!
The Sword.
Yeah, I'll play
if you're like me,
the S word.
Yeah. No one of my friend group listens to The Sword, obviously. I mean, I have a couple who knew who they were, but they don't listen to them on a regular basis.
Are these a local band?
They're from Texas.
Okay, so they're not a local band.
No.
There was
a local band that played before them
called Arcos.
I'm not sure.
With
they like Metallica. They like early Metallica.
They just covered Metallica?
No, but they sounded a lot like early Metallica.
So what am I listening to, Mike? What genre would you call this?
This would be...
does it have a genre title?
It's I consider this just rock.
This is rock?
To me, this is
Yeah.
rock.
To me, it
rock.
sounds like rock.
That's what I would call it.
Yeah. I would concur.
I'm intrigued. Like you're playing a little bit before the show, and
They get categorized a lot with metal, because some of their breakdowns are very metally, but then they get
Queens of the Stone Age.
Queens of the Stone Age would kind of fall into this same area.
That's what I feel.
But there's other bands that I listen to that fall kind of into what people would call sludge rock or doom rock.
Yeah.
And that would be like Clutch or something like that.
How popular is this song?
This song is
We're gonna get content ID'd on YouTube.
possibly.
Okay, I was just curious.
But,
That's
I
cool.
mean,
We'll deal with it.
What are we doing?
So if you're on YouTube and you're just seeing us talk with no sound, you won't hear this
Yeah.
anyway. So
But if we keep talking over it, I would hope to do it.
Yeah.
that's what I keep trying. I keep
I
not
know.
letting it to be any
Yeah.
spaces.
So
Yeah. No
Yeah.
gaps.
do you want
No
me
gaps.
to turn it off and go to
It sounds really good. We can turn it off for a second. Just tell us.
see
about,
they're categorized as doom metal.
I don't even know what doom metal
Like
is.
this, if I heard
Am I old?
somebody say doom metal, I'm expecting something a lot more. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
but
like
that
Guar?
like-
Guar?
Guar's not doom metal.
What's Guar?
Guar falls into just heavy metal.
Why? Because
Guar's almost comedic. Let me.
Are they
Let's
serious
see what
about
Google Music categorizes Guar
Or
as.
are they serious about it? Like when Guar does it, are they?
They
serious?
were.
And now they're not.
Well,
When you
I mean,
make like a 3-story tall base out of steel
let's put it this
cable.
way. It's the same. I consider Guar is kind of the same idea as The Darkness, where Guar and The Darkness are both into this category of they write kind of funny songs, but both of them are technically very talented bands.
Right.
Like they know what they're doing. So that
So how's this different
Somebody
from
said the
like,
darkness was coming to.
The Darkness is coming to
It is.
the
winter is coming as well?
to Indy, yeah, in a few weeks, and
Winter
I'd
is coming
love
as
to
well.
go to that, but I didn't know it was coming. So, Guar is just categorized as metal.
I don't understand.
I'm not gonna play any Guar, but
Is it true that one guy? Who's the bassist for Guar?
Dave Brocky was.
Okay, that's not the name I was thinking.
Dave
of.
Brocky was the bass player and the lead singer, and he just died a couple years
Oh,
ago.
rest in
I
peace.
saw him in Muncie.
Just like getting gas.
No,
at the gas
no.
station?
He was at there was a music shop in the village called FN Music, and he was with his band called the Dave Brocky Experience. And I saw him, and I was wearing a Cheap Trick baseball jersey, and the drummer, he was on something, but Dave Brocky was known to meddle into some
Well, he died, so
drugs.
Probably
But,
not made the positive choices.
But his drummer came up to me, and he would not leave me alone for like 15 minutes because he wanted to buy my shirt. He wanted my Cheap Trick shirt like so bad, but I bought the Cheap Trick shirt at a Cheap Trick show in Anderson, and I didn't want to sell it to him. He was like trying to give me like 3 of their shirts for like my shirt, like wanted to buy it right off my back, and I was like, no, man, I like my shirt. I'm not going to sell it to you. It was an odd situation.
Not Dave Brocky.
No, not Dave Brocky, but he was outside talking to some other people.
the weird thing is like you're gonna give me 3 band shirts for a band that I don't care about.
Yeah.
I
I don't know, but
love. Okay, do you remember?
here's Clutch. Now I saw the first time I saw the Sword. I saw the Sword with Clutch, and this is
Yeah. I mean, this is they consider this doom metal too.
no. This is just categorized as metal.
This almost has some sort of like.
He has a Star Wars reference in this song.
Oh, does he?
He says, "We got Greedo solo to the rear."
Let's parse that sentence out a little bit. We got Greedoed solo to the rear.
I think he's
We got
here.
Greedo.
Here you go. Here you go. It's coming up right here.
Maybe they mean like we got Greedo. We got Greedo here.
I'm
solo.
pretty sure he's talking
take-
Solo, go
he's
take
talking
the back
about.
door.
Well, no, I think he's talking about they're playing. The idea of this album is like it's a bunch of space traveling and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure he's talking about he's kind of in like a space bar and they're both there kind of thing.
Right. So Solo go take care of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're playing poker and like stuff like that. But
so are these guys more popular than the Sword?
yes. Well, they've been around longer. This album came out in 1995.
Wait, this is Clutch?
This is Clutch.
I was thinking when you're saying this is Clutch, like this is the Sword album, Clutch.
No, this is a different band.
Oh. Okay, I missed that transition.
Okay. So I was just saying that
the music feels lighter, but his aggressive singing style it feels a little more aggressive.
It is, but it's very fun to see live because he's very just he pronounces and just like he's very like into theatrical with his singing and like
Are they still on tour? Or
yeah. They just released a new album the other day, and not the other day, but like last year. Psychic Warfare. He gets a little political, but it's good political. Like
I'll have to check it out.
Good political, like it's our side of politics.
Yes.
Okay.
Like libertarian-leaning political.
Yes.
Is he wanting to make America
They're
great
from
again?
Maryland.
Make America great again?
No.
Yeah. No, I like this. It feels kind of like Southern rock almost.
See, when I was telling you, yes. See, that's where I take the Sword and I categorize them. When people ask me what the Sword sounds like, I tell them it's a mix between ZZ Top and Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a very good... I think it's a really good representation of them.
Like, these guys kind of got a funk feel, though, to them.
Yeah.
So...
But yes, but we didn't see Clutch, but I saw Clutch the last time I saw the Sword, and the Sword was fantastic this time. They've been good both times. The other bands that was with them, the Thunder, what was the
something Royal Thunder?
Royal Thunder.
Was that it?
Yeah, Royal Thunder. They had a lady singer, and it was okay. They're not bad. It's weird because when you listen to them, it kind of has the same situation that you said when you had the Sword. You probably pulled up. Did you pull up just Sword?
Is that a different band?
There's a different band from. I bet this is who you pulled up. Here you go.
Sword, isn't that a band from the 80s?
Yeah. Sword is a Canadian heavy metal band.
Yeah.
Is this who you pulled up previously?
No, it didn't. It could have been. Like I said, yeah, this sounds a little bit more.
Back, like,
but really, what I heard was like faster. Like it was like.
Yeah.
No.
Look at that! Look at that blue line.
Wow,
man, I'm
like
awesome.
Two Smurfs just going at it right there.
Here's another Sword polygamy.
Okay.
This sounds a little bit more.
Now,
is this like Cotton Eye Joe?
Now the Smurfs can go at it.
I don't know, but
now watch none of that other music you're gonna get tagged for, but this thing.
I don't know.
What the hell are we listening to?
Sword. This is not the band we saw, but
is that the name of the song or the name of the group?
The band of the name of the artist is Sword.
And this song is called
Polygamy.
Okay, all right, kill it, man, kill it.
I'm intrigued now.
No, we're not. No, you're not.
No, we had a good time. We went out.
We had these amazing. We went to this place called Hopcat,
which is right across the street from the Vogue in Indy,
and they had these amazing tater tots.
These tater tots looked like cheese sticks.
Not little cheese sticks.
Like big
mozzarella sticks.
Like gigantic. The mozzarella sticks you get from Arby's. Arby's mozzarella sticks are kind of big, but these were a little bit bigger than that, a little bit longer.
They were like this big around as a 50-cent piece and like 6 inches long.
Yeah. And they were so good. You would think like a tater tot that big would not be good in the center.
Yeah, because it's just
fantastic. Fantastic. And it came with this weird, like, really melted cheese sauce.
It was a beer cheese sauce, but then it had their special crack seasoning.
Yeah, because they call them crack fries, and they've won awards for their fries because the seasoning on the fries, and it was so
I'll
good.
take the tater tot over the fry.
What'd you have? A Kirkwood ale?
I had Kirkwood cream ales.
Kirkwood cream ale.
Just because it has Kirkwood in the name?
Yeah, I figured I'd give it a shot.
They
were good.
I had a couple different things there. I don't remember what they were called. But
And then a big-ass burger.
yeah. And I got what I get?
You got the patty melt.
Yeah, the patty melt, which was
Yeah, that's my kind of guy.
it was
Patty
like
melt.
it was roast beef on
I
a burger.
really wish I'd have got the barnyard thing.
Yeah.
It was Wisconsin
I wonder
cheese
if I can look it up.
curds.
Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
It was Wisconsin cheese curds with like bacon and then deep fried egg salad on top of that.
I mean, I think that right there you would have been sold.
I know. I
you
should
should
have just got it.
I was so curious. Like,
Next time
could
we
you
go
said
there.
something to him like, I don't want to get this because I'm nervous.
I wasn't.
Could you send me like half of it? How much for like
Yeah,
half
how
of
much?
it?
We had a really terrible waiter though.
yeah, he was weird.
He was bizarre.
I hope he doesn't listen to the show. But
Yeah.
Is he from Iceland?
He could be.
there's a good
I think it was
chance
from
there.
another planet, actually. So,
Was he only in town for the
like, he
sword
was asking
concert?
me to like pick up my.
super mega crack tots.
Yeah, that's was the
Giant ass tater tots sprinkled with our signature cracked black pepper seasoning,
What's all
served with
this
a side
cursing? Why
of
do they
warm
have to
cheese
curse all the
Ass
time?
sauce
isn't a
for
curse
dipping.
word.
Vegetarian. It's vegetarian. So it made that
It's vegan.
very clear. Let me see if I can find that.
It's
Is it
vegan.
kosher?
Better living through tacos.
They had fish tacos.
The
there.
Barnyard. It's reunion down on the farm. Wisconsin cheddar cheese curds, hickory smoked bacon, and fried egg salad smothered with cheese sauce on Texas toast.
That does. I mean, I would have been like sold. Like there wouldn't have been any doubt at all. That's
We
what I
gotta
would've-
go back.
Maybe
We
if they
gotta
had
go
just put
back.
it on the plate and then smothered it in gravy.
I
then
wanted. Well, both of us
sausage
the other
gravy
thing
all
is,
over the top.
It sounded super big for one. So
They
neither
was
of us
big.
were very hungry, and then we got these huge tater tots, and we both ate those.
I was full off the tater tots.
and then neither of us finished our sandwich.
I did after the
Yeah,
show.
after the show you did, but
Would
yeah.
you like get it to go and then put it back in the car?
Because
Yeah.
the car we parked right, because the parking garage is right across the street from the Vogue. It's super easy because you park above, you go downstairs, you eat, and you walk across the street and go to the show. Like it's fantastic.
Next time we
It's a
do
great
it,
setup.
we won't pay for parking though.
Yeah. Well, it was only $5, but
But it could have been free.
it could have been free because you have to pay before you leave.
But
But then
opened
we
it
went
up.
down and the gate was open. Like I didn't have to put my ticket in, so I paid, and then I could have just drove out without paying.
But you did the right thing.
I did the right thing. Yeah.
It's weird that you have no problem stealing things off the internet all the
I
time.
don't steal things off the internet. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's right. You have no problem with other people stealing things off the internet all the time, but yeah, you didn't want to steal your parking space.
Well, maybe if the darkness is in Indy, you can go down there then.
Well,
Do they
they're
have like a
going to
si-
be down at the.
Do they have like assigned seats in the Vogue, or is it
Murat.
just a bar?
Nope.
It's open. It's an open theater. So sometimes they set up tables down in the bottom, but for shows like this, it's an open area. There's tables off
Do
to
they
the side.
pitting? Do they do any pitting?
Moshing? Is that what you're talking about?
Mosh pitting.
Yes, but you can stay very far away from that. We didn't come close to touching anyone.
No, we had a good spot.
We had a table. We were off to the side. It was really nice.
How early did you get there to get that?
Right when the doors opened.
Oh,
But the doors opened an hour ahead of time. Well, see, the doors were supposed to open an hour ahead of time, but they had that local band playing. So the local band actually started about a half hour early. So
okay. So you guys were there when it was empty when you got there.
well, we just
no, there's a line. Of
no,
people.
yeah. I mean, we waited in line outside for about 10 minutes.
That's cool.
I mean, it was a shorter line than when I went and saw Clutch, and it was actually less people than when I saw Clutch. Clutch is a little bit more popular band, but it was still
It was definitely our kind of people there.
yeah.
Like people, like I
Any
guarantee
one of our friends
if you'd
would
have brought
not
out the
have left out a place
if
there.
you'd whipped out the DMGs and the players' handbooks and some dice, there'd have been people right
Especially
there.
the
ready.
guy that was sitting at the table right in front of us.
Yes.
He was a portly fellow. That
Well, that's what I thought he was talking
except
about.
for the
like,
guy
just
sitting
a bunch
behind
of,
us.
Bunch of dad bods sitting around.
That
they were
was
like
behind
a lot
us.
of lot of black leather jackets, a lot of facial hair, white,
beards.
grungy. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
I mean,
What guy behind us?
The weird thing is
the Asian guy.
No, the older guys that were behind us.
Oh yeah, there were a couple old like Jewish-looking fellas that I was just like,
like businessmen that like were just looking for a good time, kind of thing.
yeah.
I mean, I am in town for one night only. What is fun to do?
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it was a good time. We had a blast.
How far is the Vogue away from downtown?
From downtown? It's in Broad Ripple.
It's a
okay.
It's a decent
Well,
little shot.
obviously, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't know it was in Broad Ripple.
But you're in Broad Ripple, so you don't really have to go downtown. You can find other stuff to do after. We could have went into, excuse me, other bars or anything afterwards. I mean, it was all open because it was such a nice night in Broad Ripple, wasn't it?
It was.
So we're driving back, and we get about 5 miles outside of
Past Anderson.
We're coming up on the Daleville exit on 69.
Be careful.
Okay.
People are going to start figuring out.
We're on an interstate.
We're on the interstate, 5 miles outside of our exit. Sheet of ice. I drove that interstate for 5 years, driving down to work. The slickest it has ever been. Seriously, we hit it, and the car, I don't know if Doug noticed it, but the whole time, we were just back and forth. Like, at any moment, we could have just flipped around. Like, without problem.
It was just like
I was doing 30 miles an hour.
It was
on 69.
nothing. It went from nothing to just
sheet of ice.
Just everything coated in ice.
I'm trying to remember what that night was like. I don't.
You don't remember that? It was Friday night. It was last Friday night.
It wasn't last Friday night. It was 2 Fridays ago, wasn't it?
No, it was last Friday night. It was crazy.
Was Saturday the really weird weather
Saturday
day?
morning you woke up and that would be the morning after.
Was that the 2 inches of snow or whatever?
Yes, yeah. Okay. But it wasn't snow. It was like this weird, like just like snow cone. Like it was shaved ice that was everywhere. It was the strangest thing. And then you get on.
But as soon as I got to Highway 28.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
That was weird. It was like this
fine.
strip, but it was like the most like white knuckle I've driven in a long time. Like I was like, oh man, this is terrible. Like I was just squeezing the wheel because I was waiting for us to go flying off of the road. We got on 67, and of course 67's terrible. Because it's super wide. There's no lights. There's no markings on the road. You never know where you're at. You'll be driving down the road and a car will come towards you and you realize you're in the middle turn lane because it doesn't have a median in the center. You know, it just has an open. So it's 2 lanes and a huge turn lane for like 2 cars. And it has 2 sides. So you could really fit 8 cars wide across that highway.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to block you from going any direction. So when there's a sheet of snow, you can't see where you're at on that road. And if you're the only car out there, it's like you just kind of, well, hopefully I don't catch the edge. I think it has bumper, the little, yeah, I think that's on the edge. So you know, oh, there's that. Let me get off of that. Because there's no way of telling because it curves so much. So it's so hard to stay straight. It's ridiculous.
That's the weather.
Yeah.
So you got off at the Yorktown exit?
No, we got off at Daleville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that does make sense.
Well, that is the Yorktown exit.
No, it's not. You have to go all the way up to the next one to get to the Yorktown exit.
Yeah, that's York.
With the giant sign, it tells you
it's
that
the
you're
Daleville exit, then Yorktown, then Frankton.
Yeah.
Oh, 330. Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, that's the Yorktown. That's the Yorktown exit.
Even though technically it's easier to get to Yorktown from that exit.
Yeah.
No. You have to go up. And then there's a giant water tower back there that connected to 2 factories that also just says Yorktown on it. So.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's local stuff. That has nothing to do with the podcast. But every time I take
now
that
that
road,
we've lost half of our audience, of
let's be
2
honest,
people,
all of Iceland is still hanging on by a thread.
They loved it. They were like, snow.
No.
Stupid Americans.
So let's talk about lava fields. All right, let's get them hyped up.
Lava fields.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
So there was
Mustafar.
What?
Okay. So there were a couple movie trailers.
Quit looking at the
Mustafar
time.
I just wanted to, you
don't need to know what time.
Initiate Order 66.
Yeah.
Mustafars.
So a couple trailers.
There was a couple trailers that come out. You guys want to talk about it now, or you want to talk about them next time?
We can talk about them.
Let's
talk about them now. Let's talk about the easier one first.
Which one? Suicide Squad?
Oh, that's not even one I was thinking about.
I haven't even watched
That's
that one.
good. It's
by
good.
the horror of horrible Hogarth, whatever it is. The Doctor Strange thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Did you watch it?
Yes.
I did.
What'd you think?
I
Were you
guess it was
immediately
fun.
a believer in like, okay, yeah, Stephen Strange?
I
this
never
could be-
read Doctor Strange as a comic, so I
Yeah.
can't really comment one way or the other.
I don't know enough about Doctor Strange.
The
but,
Relic of the Moria,
I mean, I like
Are you?
I like
are they,
Cumberbatch.
the Cape of Levitation.
are they dwarvish?
What's the lady's name that was bald? What's that actress's name?
Is it the Master?
No,
what's her
she's-
actual name? I don't
Is
know.
that Kate Blanchett?
No.
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 Who was
No.
that?
She was the queen in Narnia. That's all I remember.
That's
that
what it
and the
was.
angel in Constantine.
That's what it was.
I can't remember what her name is.
Let
She's
me
very
see.
androgynous.
Doctor.
But that's what her name is, right? The Master, isn't she the Master?
I don't know.
I can't remember from Doctor Strange, but
I never read it. Like I said, never.
I didn't. I just read like around it.
Tilda
I never really
Swinton.
read
Tilda
it.
Swinton. Yes.
I never read it
She's
myself.
listed as the ancient one.
The ancient
Ancient
one.
one.
That's right.
Teach me.
Teach me. So, did you get the sense that they're pulling back the magic side of it, or they embracing the magical side of it?
I mean,
No clue.
they were twisting New York
Dimensions,
so-
right? But right, so, well, okay, because and the only reason why I bring this up, the trailer was okay. It was formulaic. I mean, to me, it was like, okay, we're gonna give you the rough outline here. This is essentially the.
I did not get the tingles that I got with Captain America: Civil War. obviously.
Right. Well, I think it's like this is a new property. We're trying to stay away from origin films, which obviously they're not. This is a total origin film.
Well, yeah.
But they're like, but they gave you sort of the whole gist. I felt like of the whole arc of who is Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
He was
Just
a doctor.
within the trailer, Doctor has an accident.
His last name is Strange.
Goes on a
Strange journey.
trip to try to recuperate. Find something beyond himself. Finds
Meets Chittle Chudaway Ejiofor, whatever the guy's name.
Shawedo Ejiofor.
He's
yeah.
a good actor. I just don't know how to say his name.
Shawedo.
Chiwetel.
Chaiwedo
Ejiofor.
Ejiofor.
I have no idea.
His
just gonna-
sidekick.
Do you know who we're talking about?
Sidekick / rival. The guy
Right.
ends up becoming his rival, but
Do you know who we're talking about?
yes,
Okay.
yeah. What's it say his name is in the TV show? It's Rogoth or
Baron Mordor.
Baron Mordor. That's it. Yep, sorry.
Mordo.
Not Mordor.
There's
But
no R on the end.
Baron Z.
but it seemed pretty formulaic. I did think the shot when you had like the three New Yorks sort of converging on one another. It kind of makes me wonder if they're
Was it kind of Pythagorean?
There's an actor named Benedict Wong that's in this, and his character's name is Wong. What are the chances of that?
I wonder if he's Asian.
Two Benedicts in one movie.
That's the surprising part.
That's a lot of Dick and Wong in one movie.
A little bit of Cumberbatch too.
That's wrong.
No, it's Wong.
Wong.
I think
No,
personally,
it's Wong.
personally from the trailer, I think it's going to be their lowest grossing movie so far.
Okay, so why are they making it? Because they have to know this.
Because they're going to have to. Because they're going to put him in.
To use it to bring back Captain America.
Exactly.
when he's killed.
Isn't this like seriously so
They made a whole movie.
they're
to bring
making a
another guy
whole
back.
movie just to bring Cap back. Isn't that crazy?
But if they're not going to bring the same actor back,
It's so Wong.
It is so long.
dag jokes. I think I don't know. Are they going to bring what's his name back to play?
Chris Evans?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I thought he was done with it.
That's what
I
I
don't
that,
think
that
so.
was a rumor a long time ago, and I think he's kind of been like, wait a minute, you guys are going to continue to throw free money at me? Okay, never mind.
I'm pretty sure he's on board for as much as they'll.
The rumors for a long time have been that he basically said that he was only making this many movies, then he was going to move on.
Yeah, well, why would you?
I mean, I would assume that like Robert Downey Jr. would pull him aside and be like, "Listen, Chris, I've been at this a whole lot longer than you have been. It isn't always this easy, okay?"
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Milk that Marvel cow as long as you can. I really didn't care, to be honest.
So we won't take up any more. I mean, do you think that's a general feeling of the audience that the people that listen to the podcast wouldn't care about Doctor Strange?
I think Doctor Strange is the kind of, if you were really into the comic and really
nobody
into the story,
was though. Like
there are some.
Who have you ever met a single person that was like, Doctor Strange is my Iron Man?
No, but on the internet, clearly there are some diehard Doctor Strange.
Well, I would assume since it came out in '63, the first comic, that there has to be some fans if it's been around for 50 years.
I don't know. I feel like he's a little bit of like Marvel's Superman-esque. You know, like he can do everything, he can do anything, he can bend time and space. He can't be killed because he's near immortal. He whenever something really irreparable happens, they can pull him out of their back pocket and be like, "We've had this character could do this all along. Bring back the Sorcerer Supreme." But I don't know. I'm glad they're making the movie.
I'll go watch it.
Cumberbatch looked really good in it. It seemed like
it's gonna be good. I mean, it's not gonna be a bad movie. It's not gonna be a
no.
Better.
Ryan likes that word.
Better or worse? Well, I mean, how do you describe these movies now?
I don't know.
That's what they're doing. There's just a certain pattern that they're following, and
give me a cup of Cumberbatch and half an ounce of.
Is that the reason you don't like Batman vs Superman? Because it didn't follow the formula?
I think it followed its own formula. I think if you look at DC, it is following a formula. It's just not the right.
It should have followed a formula.
I read an article the other day that they said that that movie was supposed to be 4 hours long. The original cut.
Okay,
was 4
all right.
hours
I
long.
do want to mention one thing.
Are we done with Sorcerer Supreme?
Yes.
Yeah.
Batman vs Superman. Did you see the clip that they released with Lex in the goo?
Yes, I saw it.
Why didn't they put that in the movie?
Haven't seen it.
Because I think that
that whole thing, the whole ending. It makes total sense.
Well, I think honestly, like I was actually putting together, like I told Mike about it. I was putting together a little PowerPoint about my theories that we talked about at the end of the movie.
Right, a PowerPoint. This is what he does. He's supposed to be teaching children.
I wasn't doing it at school. I was doing it at home.
I ran some statistical probabilities on my Excel spreadsheets.
I'm not even going to tell you what I was talking about.
You need to post this PowerPoint as a YouTube video.
That's essentially what I was doing. Like I just got done talking to Doug about how the podcast needs to try to release things on a daily.
Right, we do.
So
we're going to.
So I sat down and I was like, okay, I can make a real quick PowerPoint, sort of just capsulating what I said in the podcast the week before about how I feel like that Lex was actually being influenced by Darkseid the whole entire time.
Right.
And that I was pulling out my points and really getting to that point, and then like I put it away for the night and go to bed. I wake up the next morning and I turn, like, every news feed is like, Zack Snyder has released this previously unseen clip. And I'm like, that just explains everything that I was going to say in my PowerPoint. I'm done. I'm not going to, like, obviously it's not going to work. And I don't seem like I'm new or original at all.
They should have just put it in the movie.
But I think what they wanted to distance themselves from that side of it, because I still think they're trying to. I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense,
I almost need to see the movie again.
People would have been like, "Whoa, what's that? Who's that? What's going on?"
But I think
why was there a
he wanted it to remain
nanobot
ambiguous.
demon thing?
He wanted it to remain ambiguous as to a lot of these people's motives, because I think honestly, looking back at the film now, it was all just a way to kill Superman. It was a way to bring down the Justice League, to make the Justice League weak, so that these other superpowers have to join together and become buddies and play nice, so that when Darkseid comes or when Doomsday returns, they have to fight him together, because Superman's not there to finish the job for them. But so I think they didn't want to get too much into this big conspiracy theory thing, with the intent of next time they're going to release this other movie. And the conspiracy is going to come out. We're all supposed to go like, oh, I didn't even think of that. Lex was that way the whole time. Well, we do know that they've greenlit a solo Batman flick with Batfleck as the director. And I've also seen some others kind of unconfirmed. What is that one paper? Latino Review or whatever.
Yeah.
where they're saying that
Oh yeah, the one that always tries to leak before everybody else does.
that Kevin Smith is actually going to have a hand in some of the creation of the Batman movie.
Of course he is.
I know, but I mean,
I knew that the minute that they said he was directing. I'm like, I wonder who's going to back him up. Kevin Smith. Duh.
You think so? I mean, they're good friends and all. I mean,
he does a podcast about Batman.
I haven't listened to it since
Fat Man on Batman.
Well, I haven't listened to it since the movie came out. Have you? I've honestly only listened to it like once.
It's on YouTube.
Is it? I realize that. Have you listened to it?
Yeah,
since
I
the movie
listened
came
to
out?
it. Yeah, he wasn't. He was. I think pretty much like, yeah, there's some problems with it. He's like, it's not a bad movie, but yeah, there's some problems that definitely could have been fixed. But he really wasn't beating it down. You know, I obviously, you know, he wants the genre to continue, and he wasn't going to be super negative, but he was definitely like, yeah, there's some problems with it that could have been fixed. So, you know, I thought it was a fairly balanced review of the movie. So, anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there because I don't know. I saw it and I was just like, they should have just put that in the movie. It would have explained a lot.
Yeah.
This was just released. This is interesting. From Star Wars Underworld News, released today, right now. J.J. Abrams was doing a screening at the Tribeca Film Review Festival. Abrams was being interviewed on stage by comedian Chris Rock when a young fan asked the question. What question would a young fan ask?
Who are Ray's father?
Who is Ray's parents? There's a video of it here, but there's a synopsis down to below. Abrams went ahead and answered the question to say Ray's parents are not seen in Episode 7.
Okay.
So it's Obi-Wan.
No, I don't know. But it's not Luke.
Okay.
And the answer to the question probably would not be... We wouldn't have a resolution to that question until Episode 9.
He says that?
Likely Episode 9. Says, question, however, before they met before them.
What? They're going to leave us hanging that long?
Force Awakens is
likely, 8's going to be fantastic, but I mean, they're going to leave us hanging. And it's
one that will likely not be answered until Episode 9. One of the few people that know the answer is Force Awakens director J.J. Abrams.
Well, he kind of has to.
Okay, so did you guys... Okay, we all got the Star Wars, and we haven't had a podcast since the copy came out. Did you guys watch all the special edition stuff yet?
I watched everything except for the reading, which I'm kind of upset
it really isn't a table. It
isn't the full table read, which I thought it was. That's why I skipped it. Yeah. And I found out it was 5 minutes long. I'm like, why?
Yeah, it is. It's okay. It's really interesting to see.
Somebody said they may release more for free. Online for I don't know.
You're right when you told me that
they'll do a special edition bundle with all the extras.
There'll be more extras. They're just holding on to it and teasing us little by little. Like
and the part that I thought was a little bit frustrating was that they all have these exclusives that basically pull from the same pool. And they just added them and put them in different directions.
I haven't watched I bought mine at Target.
And I got mine from iTunes, but I also rented it from Amazon.
I didn't watch my extras that Target gave me, exclusives. Because I was kind of disappointed.
That's probably the biggest chunk.
I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed with the deleted scenes that are on the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Like there was like 5 that were like 3 minutes each.
Well, I wouldn't even say
they weren't even that. They were
what
like
the
a
crap,
minute,
man.
They were like a minute.
You didn't have enough deleted scenes to show me more? You put it all in the movie? What's that all about?
I totally agree, dude. I totally agree.
It's called Star Wars Force Awakens Collector's Edition.
I mean, if that's
$99.99.
If that's all the deleted scenes you have, then I guess you did a good job with the
movie.
Probably
be like $49.99.
You'd waste a single bit of that 35 millimeter.
Nothing.
$49.99. Would you pay $50 for the collector's edition?
Collector's edition. How many hours of content am I getting?
You get full director commentary.
Didn't we already get that?
No.
There's no commentary at all?
No commentary.
I didn't even look.
Descriptive audio.
8 hours. 8 hours of extras.
For $50?
For $50.
Are you going to buy it? Can I borrow yours?
If it was as good as Lord of the Rings extras, yes, I would.
But that was the heyday of DVD. That was when they were like, "Do you realize we can put like 40 more hours of extras on here?" And they're like, "Put it on, man, put it on."
Well, now they can do it more. I mean, they can put more on a Blu-ray.
But they realize they don't want to. They want to piecemeal it out, nickel and dime it out.
I don't know.
$50.
Anyway, what were you saying about?
Okay, well, I was just curious because I really like the longer piece that I got on the Apple from the Apple Store, which I think is honestly
is it just the documentary that we got?
Yeah, it is
hour-long
but
documentary.
they're cut in different directions. I feel like they're
Does
cut
it
different.
spend 15 minutes talking about Phasma?
Oh my god.
It did spend a lot of time talking about.
Yeah,
Phasma.
same one.
Way too. I'm so glad that she's a powerful woman that's not sexualized.
91
but
But
I-
she's a pointless freaking character.
And I make it the point to stand so that I look female, so you can tell that it's a woman under the armor.
Yeah, that's the
but-
same one.
Yeah, I know it is. They're all the same. They're just cut like little snippets here and there, different.
Her total time was something like 91 seconds.
Yeah.
In the movie,
It's something real.
and they were
tiny.
like clapping for her when she walked off set and stuff. It's very strange. It's very strange.
Let's see. Her lines were, "Sir, the villagers fire on my command," or something like that. Yeah.
Trooper, what was his Finn's number? I can't remember now. How can I know?
FN 2187.
Yeah. Please resmit your blaster for inspection.
Report to my division.
Oh, well, there you go. She didn't die. You're right.
Well,
Wikipedia says Phasma will also appear in Star Wars.
she's
Episode
listed
8.
on IMDb.
Yeah, and she's on the cast set, so I mean, you knew that she was traveling with them, but
It's like the, it's like
Gonna have to prove it to me.
it's like
Gonna have to prove it to me why she ain't dead.
It's like the guys that one John Schnepp and those guys I watched. He's the first one I heard say if they would have just substituted Phasma for that random stormtrooper that fought Finn, it would have added a whole other dimension to that character.
Can't build a boba.
Whether she died or she didn't, it would have made that character so much better.
even though she got beat,
Huh?
even though she gets blasted away at the end of it.
Well, she got. I don't know that you would necessarily have to kill the character. If she did, fine. But she beats Finn, and then she gets shot by a bowcaster. Maybe her armor's special and it doesn't kill her, but
I'm gonna be really mad if they don't tell us how she survived.
They're not going to tell you.
What? She was in a trash compactor.
Well, they don't.
It's in the book. It's in the book.
Did she have a droid turn it off?
I think so.
Is that what happened? She got a hold of R2D2
she was
and
screaming into her comlink. Yes.
yeah, and made it
Turn
stop.
turn off all the trash compactors on the
detention
shield
level.
generation. The
Shut down all garbage compactors on detention level.
Not detention. Where are they at? The regulator, the
oscillator.
The oscillator. Shut down all garbage compactors in the oscillator level.
Well, that was the shield room. I don't know.
But if she's on a planet that explodes and she's in a trash compactor,
Okay. Let's stop here for a second because
that's how they left her.
But the timeline of the movie is all off. We have no idea how long it takes for that planet to explode. Think of all the Chewie had to dig out the Falcon that was sitting sideways. We know that from the deleted scene. I think that's why that scene didn't honestly make it.
I just want to know
thing was under
what
2 feet
Kylo
of snow.
Ren used to teleport to get out in front of Finn and Rey.
With one leg
With
shot
one-
all the way to the
with
hip
his
bone.
kidney hanging
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Let's not pick it apart, gentlemen. All I wanted to say was
I'm picking this apart. Right?
the special edition that it made me want to just walk the streets and hope that I get lucky when they were talking about how JJ and Lawrence Kasdan,
Right.
they were writing the movie but they just got to the point where they had to get up and they would just go for long walks in the middle of the night down their street and just talk out stuff. That there's a kid somewhere that knew what was happening that was crawling out of his 3rd-story mansion window because I'm sure that's
They
all
were
big-
in France.
I know, but I mean, there's somebody they're eating baguettes or whatever, and these two people walk by. These two people walk by.
What do you mean?
Smoking cigarettes, eating a baguette, just eating bread, smoking cigarettes with a beret. Yeah, just like the red beret.
Oh.
He's got the red and white
Did he
striped
say
shirt on.
Kylo Ren?
No,
I love your interpretation of France. That is fantastic.
I didn't say all that. I just said eating a baguette.
Does he have a chimpanzee monkey?
You filled in all the other gaps. But just imagine walking down the street and being I think that's J.J. Abrams, and then just sort of walking behind him.
Can't miss him.
And nonchalantly, and he's and then he stabs his father through the heart with his lightsaber. And then Kaz is oh yeah, that's great, man, that's great. Let me write that down, because they're just brainstorming and recording it on their phone. Huh? Did he say Kilo Ren? That's the best part of the table read is when Mark Hamill consistently.
Kilo.
I don't know at what point in the production they actually were like, guys, it's not Kilo, it's Kylo, because all throughout those documentaries they're constantly calling Kylo Kilo. Even like I feel like Adam Driver at some points when he's talking about him,
No, the set designer or something, costume.
Mark Hamill in that table read is calling him.
Well, in his defense, that was the first time that they'd ever.
Wait, don't you think that JJ would be like, that's great, Mark, and you're doing a fantastic job, but the character's name is actually Kylo.
Maybe at the time they thought it was Kilo. Who knows?
Technically, JJ was supposed to be the one that was reading it, but
right. But you have a voice actor like Mark Hamill sitting there. Might as well.
That's true.
Put him. Actually, Mark, you don't have any lines at all.
Just
so
do it in the voice of the Joker.
That's what I want to see. Did you guys see the?
No.
Have you seen the little?
I wish you could pull things up on this.
Why?
That'd be great. Because I would love to see the Rogue One trailer.
You haven't seen it?
I have, but to be able to talk about it and look at it at the same time.
So, anyways, that is so. Who do you think is parents then? If they were not seen in Episode 7, any quick idea?
Do you want to watch the Rogue One trailer? I think we might see her mom.
You really think that they're going to?
I don't think they're going to. I don't think. Honestly, no. I'm not.
No.
It was a joke, dude. Relax. I don't think they're going to.
It's a terrible joke.
I don't think they're going to intermingle the storylines that much, and that's kind of why I'm like not 100% sold. We're going to see Darth Vader in Rogue One, but
I'm pretty sure we're going to see Darth Vader.
Yeah. They've already casted him.
Big guy that stands in a suit. I mean, it's.
So you're going to see him at least. You might not hear him
walking,
talk.
Maybe he's walking.
I still think Vader's will have. Well, we can talk about it with the Rogue One trailer, but
we'll spend a whole other episode on that.
Okay,
Yeah.
next episode, come back. We'll talk about Rogue One.
Anyway.
So those that don't like Star Wars, we apologize.
Well, let's get off Star Wars then. Did you see the 10-minute featurette on the Killing Joke that they're doing, the animated feature?
I didn't see the featurette, but I did read that they were doing the Killing Joke.
There's like a 10-minute featurette with
Hamill is doing the Joker.
He's doing the Joker. What's his face is doing Batman.
Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy.
Does it come out in theaters or is it direct?
I don't know. It's gonna have an R rating.
Yeah.
Which is good because that should have an R rating.
How far is it going to go with the Killing Joke? Is it going to end with the death in the family, or is it going to go all the way to
Spoiler?
Red Hood? I just said death in the family, dude.
I think it's the full book. So
is it going to go all the way into the Red Hood? I don't know where the Killing Joke ends.
Let's say the thing that in the featurette, the one thing that they said is they had to add stuff at the beginning to make it a feature-length movie.
And they would. I think they would have to explain what happens to Tim Drake and then reintroduce.
They start off with Batgirl at the beginning.
Barbara.
Yeah, with Barbara.
Do we see her fall? Do we see her back get broke?
I don't know. I only saw a little bit of it. So
Batgirl.
But I'm very interested because I think it's going to be really good because their animated stuff is always good.
Well, it's getting a lot of traction as far as, social media.
That would be cool to see that in theaters, though. I don't know if it's coming out in there, but
I have no idea. But I don't know.
Who's texting? Who's getting
it's
on?
me. My wife is in the other room, and she's texting me because she's. I told her what her birthday present's gonna be, and now she.
Tell us. We want to know.
Well, she wants a Fitbit, but she wants the Fitbit Alta.
Okay.
The new Fitbit.
Oh,
but I asked her, and I said, I asked her, really, is this what you want? Because tell me why you want a fitness band.
Right.
She explains to me what she's wanting out of it, and the reason. And then she goes in to explain why she wants the Alta because the notifications and stuff like that. And I said, do you realize a Pebble, the new Pebble, will give you all of that plus a better watch face? And it has everything as the activity trackers and stuff. You actually have options. You have like 3 or 4 different companies that provide activity trackers for the Pebble. And she's like, oh, well, she doesn't know because she doesn't know the size of it. Comparably to the one I have, it's the newer version, the Pebble Time. So I'm going to get her that because there's a deal tonight that makes it like $40 cheaper. So I'm going to pick that up for her.
Cool.
Awesome.
Anyways.
So she's just
Happy birthday.
confirming.
Her birthday's next Friday.
She's confirming. Yes, I do want that. Make that happen.
Yeah, because she was arguing with me about it today, which one she wanted. And I'm like, look, you need to make a decision today if you want it because it's going to be cheaper. So.
And that's the one that says, stop talking about me when you're on their podcast?
Yes.
That text message? Got it.
Right. No, she didn't say that, but.
Okay, so, yeah, I don't know. Killing Joke, feature-length animated film. I could do that. I could see that.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Friend of the show, Doug Fan, will be excited. He loves Killing Joke, so
he'll enjoy it. It looks. I mean, if you liked animated series,
that's the one with the camera turned sideways, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's actually has that in his office, and it's cool.
I wonder when they're going to start releasing all the rest of the Warner Brother animated stuff like that. Because Animaniacs just got on Netflix.
Yeah. Could not get my kids to sit through one episode.
Oh, really?
Could not get them to sit through one episode.
It's really not a kid's cartoon, though.
Jules likes it. Jules thinks it's funny at times. She likes Slappy the squirrel for some reason. She really enjoyed Slappy.
Well, I just thought even the first episode when it talks about them being animated and how they're come to life. And
I just can't believe I remember so much of it. Still.
I know, right? Like you're watching, I'm like, oh,
I was like, is that the episode with the Anvilania? And I started going,
So I wonder when they're gonna get like Freakazoid and stuff like that.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I know you're
making a new
Freakazoid.
Tick.
Another one? An animated?
No, aren't they doing another live action?
Freakazoid?
No, Tick.
Oh, they did one, and it
with
Patrick Warburton.
Yeah,
no, they're redoing that one, with Patrick Warburton.
Well, I would. Hey,
on maybe Hulu.
Let's see here. News
on Hulu, maybe. Are you not seeing it?
Society might be ready for the Tick again.
You think so?
Yeah.
It is ironic enough that
the nerd culture's kind of
Amazon.
Amazon. I knew it was somebody.
Is Patrick Warburton in it again?
Amazon's Tick reboot aims to stand out in a crowded superhero. That's all I got on the news.
As long as they have
superhero landscape.
As long as they have the same villains,
Chairhead and
Chair and
the Chair.
The Chair. What was it? What was their evil league of?
I don't know. What was the guy in the moth suit? The little guy in
Arthur.
the
That was his sidekick.
I don't know. Honestly, I never saw
the world's most comfortable chair.
I saw the animated version. I've never seen it.
Really good.
I've never seen the
I
live
watched
action.
that I think I watched one episode of that.
I never saw the live action version at all.
But I watch the animated every Saturday.
I don't know. I'm trying to read through this, skim through it to see if there's a picture of the old one, and it looks like that's what they're.
So they may
back,
not even.
So
maybe they haven't even cast it yet.
Well, I honestly, the article I read is they're just redoing what they're checking back in. It's kind of like the X-Files. It's only gonna be 6 episodes long. They're just gonna see what happens.
I think they're gonna extend the X-Files out.
Okay. It's kind of like the end of the real
Which
X-Files.
they should.
What, dude? Relax, man.
It was really good.
Well, I don't think it will continue to be good if David Duchovny and Scully aren't on it.
The other two are going to take over.
They are going to take over, and it's not going to be as interesting. I don't care.
Did you hear they're doing kind of on that sort of genre? They're doing Men in Black with 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
What?
The 21 Jump Street with.
So Will Smith is going to recruit the two?
No. Will Smith, no Tommy Lee Jones.
But
so it'll probably have
Rip Torn in the dog.
Is he? I thought he's dead.
Rip Torn? No, that's the other Rip.
That's the guy with the confetti.
No, I'm pretty sure Rip Taylor's alive. I'm pretty sure Rip Torn is dead.
So Rip Taylor's alive and Rip Torn is dead.
No, Rip Torn's alive.
Is he still alive?
Yep, he's not listed as dead on Wikipedia.
No.
So
I know his character died in 30 Rock.
Who was he in 30 Rock?
Rip Taylor's still alive.
Yeah.
Which Rip is dead? R.I.P.
He was Alec
Rip
Baldwin's mentor or something.
That's right.
And they encased him in carbonite.
That's right. Let's show had us moments. Way to go, Walmart semi.
Rip Taylor is 81. So he's getting there. Yeah. And Rip Torn is 85.
What?
Yeah.
He was suffering from bad alcoholism or something.
One of the guys looks a lot better for their age than the other.
Did you know that Rip Torn was the bad guy on the Beastmaster movie?
Rip Torn or Rip Taylor?
Rip Torn.
He's cousins with Sissy Spacek.
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Oh, that's right. He was on Larry Sanders' show. Gary Shandling.
Gary
died.
Shandling did die.
Yeah, he's dead.
He is dead.
He is dead.
Did you watch the Conan?
How does it feel, Chandler?
He was
Jeez.
part of
Did you see
my dad sent me a message about him, and he said, everyone's sad that he's dead, but does everyone remember that he's part of
Hydra.
Right? So
Hell Hydra.
yeah.
Did you watch it? I don't know if you guys still watch Conan at all, but that's the only one I really
Not a
ever
good
turned
chance.
back on. Right after Gary Shandling died, he had a really good I didn't realize him and Gary Shandling were such good friends.
I
or
read that in
whatever,
the
but
news about that episode, but I haven't watched it.
It was really cool. He talked about right after he got fired from late night and all that debacle of him falling off, and he said he just sort of picked up his family and his close ones and they went to Hawaii for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of paraphrasing here because it's been a while now, but he got a phone call from Gary Shandling. Gary Shandling was calling him, and he knew him from The Simpsons and some other things like out of the woodwork, but wasn't super close to him, and he sort of ignored the call, and then he got another call from the hotel, and they were like, Mr. O'Brien, we just want to let you know that Mr. Shandling is trying to get a hold of you, and he was like, oh, okay, all right, thanks, and then he sort of didn't necessarily, and they're like, he's in the hotel. He's at the resort as well, and Conan was like, okay, all right, my life's in shambles. I guess I'm not gonna cater. I don't know what to do about Gary Shandling, trying to get a hold of me. And then he sort of passed it off, and then he went outside to his bungalow or whatever, sit in his launch. Difficult times for rich people, right? And he looked over, and the bungalow right beside him, sitting in one of the lawn chairs, was Gary Shandling. He was like, I try to reach out to you. And you're blowing me off right beside me. I think I'm kind of aware. But he talked about how for 2 weeks that they were in Hawaii, he didn't even hang out with his family. He just hung out with Gary Shandling, and they just made each other laugh, and they just enjoyed each other, and he just made it sound like they had this really special bond about him.
As only
getting
two
back.
heterosexual men can.
Exactly. but I mean, it was just there was nothing, as far as I know, nothing like that at all. But it was just really cool. And then he got asked to host the Oscars, did Conan host the Oscars, or did he host the Emmys or Golden Globes maybe?
Something.
He was asked to host something, and it didn't go as well as what everybody expected it to go.
Right.
But the one part that I always remembered was he did some bit with Jennifer Aniston, and he was looking at he was looking at her like he was a hot he was a hot heartthrob or whatever.
Right.
And then the camera pans over and it's Gary Shandling sitting there and he's waving at him instead. He was talking about how that was a really cool experience and it came out of. But I mean, I was never a huge fan of the Gary Shandling thing on HBO.
I was young when that came out, but I remember watching it and remembering that it was funny. I remember it being funny. I don't remember any of the jokes or anything.
Right, but it was
but I
really
remember
adult.
It was adult oriented, but maybe I thought it was funny just because I was I shouldn't be watching this.
Right.
But I remember seeing clips of it now and thinking it's really funny. It would be a show. I don't think it's on their.
I don't know if it's on their Go app or not.
I don't think it is. They don't have a whole lot of their old stuff on there. Now I'm thinking about it. I wonder why they don't do that.
Well, I think probably some of that stuff. I don't know that it's even available. Period. I mean,
well, I would think HBO would have it.
I've never seen it released on DVD or anything.
It isn't like they just threw it away.
Well,
I mean,
I
they
guess that's
have it
true.
somewhere.
It was on celluloid.
Yeah, it isn't like it deteriorated.
We filmed it on Polaroid. It went away.
It's evaporating in front of our very eyes.
Well, I would say what's the Larry David thing? Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I would
That's
say
on
Curb
there.
was going on the same time that Larry Shandling was going, wasn't it? No.
It's kind of the same show, really.
Is it?
Kind of the same idea of
Okay, I can see that.
weirdness to it. So
It does have that quirky sort
it's
of thing.
funny you mentioned Freddie got fingered earlier. Did you guys
Did
hear about
that?
that?
Did he mention that? When did he mention that?
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Oh,
What about it?
Have you heard about the news, I guess, involving that movie?
No.
It happened a few weeks ago, but
Is it,
it didn't you
who's
mention
the
it.
star of that movie?
Tom Green.
He's not the star. Was it Brecken? Who's the short guy that was in a lot of movies at that time?
Tom Green was the star of Freddy Got Fingered.
Oh, I was thinking Road
You're
Trip.
thinking of Road Trip, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
No. So this guy in North Carolina gets arrested. He has a traffic stop, and the cop pulls him over for whatever traffic violation the guy had. Goes back, has a warrant for his arrest listed. The cop goes up and says, "I'm sorry, step out of the vehicle. I have to arrest you. You have a warrant for your arrest for failing to return a VHS copy of Freddy Got Fingered." And the guy got arrested because he hadn't returned a movie in 2002 that he rented from some place. So it got out.
Probably Dave's Video in Harvard City.
It got out on Twitter, and Tom
people
Green calls the guy and apologizes to the guy about the movie for one, and then offers to help pay for his legal fees and stuff like that to get out of it.
Is Tom Green still rolling in green? I mean,
after that Drew Barrymore settlement, he probably was set up for life.
I mean, did his testicular cancer go into syndication or something?
It says Tom Green is coming to the rescue of the man who was arrested for failing to return a VHS rental of the film Freddy Got Fingered. This is on EW.com. James Myers of Concord, North Carolina, was put in handcuffs on Tuesday after police found an outstanding warrant for his arrest pertaining to the unreturned VHS rental.
Do you have to arrest somebody?
The warrant came to light when Myers was pulled over for driving with a broken taillight while on his way to drop his daughter off at school. So he had his daughter in the car, too. The officer says, "I don't know how to tell you this, but there's a warrant out for your arrest from 2002. Apparently, you rented the movie Freddy Got Fingered," which is funny that movie is actually listed on his warrant.
Right. I don't think it would be, would it?
I don't know. I would figure it would be delinquent or theft or something like that it would just be listed as, but it says apparently you rented the movie Freddy Got Fingered
prison
and never returned it. And the guy says, "I thought he was joking." Myers was allowed to continue on his way to his daughter's school, so the cop was nice enough to let the guy take his daughter to school. And after he promised to turn himself in later that day, he was returned to the station, the police in handcuffs, and charged with failure to return rental property. That's what the warrant was for, which is a misdemeanor punishable by a fine of up to $200. Green weighed in on the bizarre situation via Twitter, saying, "I just saw this and I'm struggling to believe that it's real." The actor told the New York Daily News that he'd spoken to Myers and plans to help him with the expenses. "If it's $200, of course I'll pay it for him. Just the principle of the thing." That's what Green said.
Oh my God.
That's awesome. I mean, really, that's awesome.
I just, what a jerk of a... Would you have done that at Dave's Video if somebody didn't return Freddy Got Fingered?
Well, first off, that's an owner's decision.
Okay. If your owner came to you...
No, I don't think we ever submitted warrants. Put them in collections. That was all.
Could you imagine the court cost, to just... I think there would be some sort of court fee to do any of that, right?
Yeah, there'd be like a $45 filing fee. Would that go into the $200?
But VHS tapes now. Let's talk about this for a second.
Back then, it was way different.
Yeah, because the cost for a rental place to get a VHS copy was super expensive.
I know.
Because supposedly, one, they were higher quality because they knew that they'd be running them multiple times. And
That's
the other,
just not true. They just came out earlier than they could be bought.
And they came out before you could buy them. So they had to pay a fee, basically.
Yeah. Freddy Got Fingered probably cost that video store like $210 a cassette tape. Maybe $140.
I'm gonna assume something like that because the cost of the fine was $200. So
wow.
Well, it could have been like $140. Then they added like $60 for the legal and filing fees or whatever. This isn't the only former Canadian famous person that was in the news here a while back. Did you guys hear about the former Prime Minister of Canada?
Which Prime Minister?
I don't remember what his name was, but I honestly was prepared to come in here and talk about this tonight.
The new guy is younger.
No. Just do a quick Google search, Mike, there on former Canadian
Justin Trudeau.
Is the defense minister. That's funny.
To Ted Cruz, it's like
maybe it would have to be like Ted
I did
Cruz's
hear today.
dad,
I did see today a conspiracy thing though that
Ted
Cruz's dad was possibly involved in the JFK assassination.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow, man.
Because he had moved to Dallas right before he was assassinated, and was a part of the big anti-communist movement in the area. So
Wouldn't have been the anti-communist movement, would it?
yeah, he was anti-communist.
Lee Harvey Oswald was anti-communist?
I don't know, Ryan.
I don't mean to exacerbate.
No, I'm just saying that it was in the paper. I don't know what their point that was.
That was in the paper? Like the actual
some
newspaper?
online paper.
Okay,
You know,
well, it was the Onion.
it could have been. I mean, they're all pretty much the Onion anymore.
Oh, they are.
So, but anyway, yes, Paul Hellyer has said for quite a few years that there are UFOs are real.
Do you think he would come on the show and talk about it?
I won't
Okay,
call
does
him
he
out.
have a Twitter?
Maybe.
I'll just see if I can get his Twitter. Okay.
Maybe. Are we done?
Well, we'll close out the show here, but as soon as we close out the show, I'm gonna tweet Paul Hellyer.
Oh, go for it.
And we're gonna see if we can't get him to come on the show. in the
I'm
coming
not set
weeks.
up for Skype calls right now.
You're not. Well, so I don't want him to call now. We could do a Google Hangout. Could he do a Google Hangout?
He wouldn't be able to hear us.
Well, what if we did like a Facebook thing?
Still
you-
wouldn't be able to hear us.
Okay, well, if
All right.
you want to do a Facebook thing, you could do so at facebook.com/.
We'll get the
Buffalo Brotherhood.
technology set up.
Yeah, facebook.com/Buffalo Brotherhood. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so at Buffalo Cast. You can follow the show on Twitter at BOBcast Nation. Follow Mike on Twitter at FuMan2, 2 O's, 2 N's, and the number 2. Follow Doug on Twitter at ReFriedEvil and on Instagram as ReFriedEvil
I
as well.
think the same, yes.
Yeah, as ReFriedEvil as well. It's been a good show, guys. I'm glad we're back. I'm glad we rolled tonight. I really had a good time this evening. It was fun. I should have ended it. Dagaba. Had a fun show. Kind of went around the horn, but we've had a lot to catch up on. So come back next week. We're going to break down the Rogue One trailer and just talk about whatever else comes across the feed. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next week. BuffaloBrotherhood.com.
Buffalo Brotherhood.
Just switch mouses.
Pieces.
I gotta turn off the thing. I gotta piss.
Luke, use the force and run. Run to Dagobah. Run to Dagobah.
Did you watch the Weird Satanic Guy?
The what?
There is a video I wanted to find. I haven't watched yet. Supposedly someone took the Star Wars Episode 7 stuff and put it into an 80s sitcom opening.
Have you?
It looks like not 80s, like 90s, like Full House.
Took what?